Welcome back to this lecture. For unit number two, process planning and cost estimation. We were discussing various aspects of cost estimation. Last lecture, we discussed about data requirements for cost estimation, right? So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about elements of cost estimation and with or with the example, I'm going to explain that also separately. Then procedures for cost estimation. So with this, we can able to wind up this lecture for cost estimation. Then next lecture we'll move on to costing or cost accounting. Okay. So what are the elements of cost estimation? So cost estimation means forecasting the cost going to occur to make the particular product or to particular product before it happens. So cost estimation involves calculating the total expense required to design, manufacture, and deliver a product. The main cost components are how it got divided as design cost. Design cost means what? How it calculated the design. Design cost has been calculated like using this method. Like estimated design cost would be again estimated design cost would be estimated design time, how much time required to design that particular component or product or assembly with the salary of the designer per unit time. Okay, for them we need to pay some wages, right? Salaries we need to. So how much time he is spending for his time, how much money we are going to provide as a salary, then with the total time required. So that will be your estimated design cost. Assume if we are using outsourcing our design, we don't have skill set, facilities, resources with us. But if we want to do, we are outsourcing our design from X or Y company. They also charge according to that. So that charge it will be added it should be added or it should be considered when we are doing cost estimation. Then drafting cost. Drafting cost will be time taken for drawing and time taken per particular draftman and his wage. Okay. Design cost and drafting cost is completely different. 3D modeling all will comes under your design cost and all. But when it goes for manufacturing in shop floor, you need a draft of the detailed drawing only. So for that, draftman are very important. Nowadays, sophisticated softwares are coming. The software itself has capabilities of doing design and creating drawing also. But traditionally, there's a individual draftman will be there. He will be preparing from the detailed design. It may be prototype in hand or it may be 3D model in software. But he or she will be definitely can able to prepare a detailed drawing. The detailed drawing including allowances, tolerances, GD&T concepts, and notifications. Everything will be clearly given in that. So draftman, they also need time to do that drafting of the particular component, they prepare the drawing. So how much time he is taking for his time, we also need to fix some wages, right? So that is what drafting cost. Then material cost. What are the material we are, how much volume we are going to use, so what is the cost involved for that particular material. So estimated material cost would be weight of each part into future price per unit. Okay. Future price, why it is given like we are going to estimate. It should not be like a current date. Maybe you can think like a 1 kg of steel today, assume like 1,000 rupees. But in maybe when you start making that product after accepted by your court is got accepted by the agency or government party, that time maybe consider like a 6 months. After 6 months, After 6 months, the cost may go maybe 1,100 rupees. But if you calculated using 1,000, then you will be ending with for 1 kg itself, you will be losing 100 rupees. So if you are making mass manufacturing, then you need how much kg? Multiple number of kg, huge volume of steel. If you consider, if you want, then per kg itself you are losing 100 rupees. For example, then how about 1,000 kg if you are making loss for you, right? So futuristic price. So you should be having some idea about how the cost trend is going on for that particular material. Just for example, I'm telling you. So that's why that future price per unit is important. So that is include cost of raw materials needed for production. Then labor cost. So again, labor cost accounts for wages of workers involved in production. So time, how much time, and per hour, how we are paying. It's based on standards we have to provide, and the industry also follow their own uh, labor cost per hour. But basically, they follow the government norms, as well as they will be adding some allowances also, right? So labor cost will go on. How to calculate labor time per product into labor cost per hour. Then cost for the tools, or cost for the jigs, cost for the fixtures, because when we put that under the machine, we have to prepare our holding device, tool holding device, machineries, equipments, and all, right? So tool cost per unit produced needs to be calculated. How the tool cost per unit can be produced? Total tool cost divided by number of jobs. Okay, total tool cost in the sense adding all the tools cost, then total number of job are we are planning to make. With that ratio, we can able to calculate the total cost per unit produced. Okay, includes expenses for specialized tools and fixtures used in manufacturing. Okay, then cost of research and development, which covers research, prototyping, and testing costs before full scale of production. So we need to spend some cost for that also, because the R&D team experts, we need to pay them, and proof of concept we have. Then if we want to make that as a product, we need to prepare a prototype, like it may be 3D printing, or we may be using some CNC machine for 3D scanners for using the existing component, and then through 3D scanner do the scanning, 3D scanning, then rapid prototyping if you make, and 3D. Then for that you need, it's all comes under R&D, right? So after that you do some modification, something like that. So that need cost. So that is what cost of R&D. Then inspection cost. So how much cost needed? So these are all the elements. Then overhead cost covers indirect cost. So other than labor cost, other than material cost, or other than machinery cost, it's indirect cost, which may include like electricity, rent for that building, and maintenance charges or administrative expenses like that will go up. So these are the elements of cost estimation. So with this, I'm going to for this I'm going to give some example. With the example, we can go further about what are all the elements of cost estimation. So the example which I consider is the hydraulic cylinder. The manufacturing hydraulic cylinder. The hydraulic cylinder, you know where it is used. It's used in heavy machineries like excavators or forklifts and industrial press. They use this kind of hydraulic cylinder. So how we are going to do the cost estimation for this hydraulic cylinder making? Okay, step by step. So you need to have a design cost. So as we discussed, design cost include estimated design cost will be estimated design time into salary of designer per hour. So a designer spends 80 hours designing the hydraulic cylinder. He spend 80 hours for doing this particular hydraulic cylinder design. So for him, the designer salary per hour is fixed as 600 rupees. So total design cost would be 80 into 600. You will be having 48,000 for doing the design of this hydraulic cylinder. If the company outsources the design, the outsourcing cost is used for design. See, this is how the people are using, because if they have they need like this product to be made in the industry, Consider they have a expertise who can do the design, they can keep, but every day 8 hours they need, right? So the for making this hydraulic cylinder, 8 hours is enough, assume. But for that, they not necessary to employ give one keep one employee for designing purpose. Whereas every year they need to pay, every month they need to pay. Until otherwise, they always make some designs, complete modifications, then paying them wages monthly. It's expensive, right? Until otherwise, if they are not you utilizing its service for that factory or industry, then loss for them, right? So for that, they have to go for outsourcing. Before going for outsourcing, how much time required to design, they should know. Then salary for them. So then make or buy decision also applied here, like whether to do the design over in our industry itself or we can outsource it. Okay, for that also we need to have a estimation. So for this is how we can able to do the design of cost. Then drafting cost, as I said, draftman cost. So how much time he is taken for doing the drawing of that particular hydraulic cylinder, and what are all the components inside. He should do the detailed drawing, and along with the GD&T, tolerancing, allowances, everything he should draw and represent. Then for him we need to pay some salary, right? Salary of draftsman per hour. So example, the drafting engineer takes 40 hours to prepare a technical drawing. His salary 400 per hour. So total drafting cost would be 40 hours into 400 rupees, you will be having 16,000. This includes detailed technical drawing for machining, tolerance, assembly, and all. Then material cost. What is the material cost we said? So weight, based on weight only. So estimated material cost would be weight of each part into price per unit weight. Okay, price per unit weight. Example, hydraulic cylinder consists of steel and it weighs 30 kg. So steel, we are going to use steel material for hydraulic cylinder, and we need a 30 kg of steel. So steel per kg is 120 rupees per kg. Then how much total material cost? 13 to 120, 3,600 rupees. This includes cost of all the components like a cylinder barrel, piston rod, seals, mounting components, which comes with the steel. If you have other components also, then you need to add that also here for calculating the total material cost needed. Then labor cost, labor time per product into labor cost per hour, how much time per product, and per hour also. It takes 10 hours to machine, assemble and test the cylinder. So one hydraulic cylinder needed of 10 hours to put together, 10 hours to machine, assemble and test the cylinder. So labor cost is per hour is 500 rupees. So 500 into 10 hours will be 5,000 rupees needed for total labor cost, which covers welding, machining, assembling, painting, etc. All the labor costs are included. Again, how much hour needed? What is the cost? Then tools, fixers, jigs, and its cost. Total cost per unit will be total tool cost divided by number of units being produced, right? So special jigs and fixers for precious machining is needed. So that would cost around 1 lakh rupees. And expected production, like how many number of product we are going to make the particular hydraulic cylinder, 500 cylinders are we are going to make. That is what our plan. Then total cost per unit will be 1 lakh rupees. That total tool cost is 1 lakh divided by number of units produced will are 500. So you will be having per unit you need to have a 200 rupees for tool cost. Okay, this includes all cutting tools, fixtures for holding the parts and welding jigs, all these things. Then cost of R&D for research and development covers expenses for prototyping, testing and improvement. For example, prototype development and testing costs around 50,000 rupees. So which is shared among all the 500 rupees. 50,000 means it should cover or it should be mapped with how many number of product we are making. In this particular example, 500 units being made, so we have to share this. Then R&D cost per unit will be 50,000 divided by 500, so 100 rupees. Includes fluid pressure testing, failure analysis, durability testing, all will come. Okay, that research and development will come under that. Then inspection cost covers quality control and testing. So here each cylinder undergoes leakage and pressure testing. It's not like a random component we are taking and testing because it's used in hydraulics or excavators or some containers kind of thing. So hydraulic cylinder and its role is very important, right? So it's more sensitive one. If any leakages is there, it won't do the purpose. It may lead to big accidents and also we need to do each and every hydraulic cylinder should go for leakage and pressure testing. So for each unit we need 500 rupees. Okay. So ensure product meets the safety and performance standard. For that we need to spend some money. So overhead cost, electricity, rent, maintenance and administrative expenses. The total factory overhead will be 5,000 per month and product production capacity is 1,000 units per month. In the sense, our cost will be 5 lakhs divided by 1,500 per unit. Okay, per unit we have to. So it covers factory rent, also electricity, machine maintenance, salaries for supervisors and all. Okay. Labor cost is different, supervisors charges are different. Okay, you should that supervisor charges comes under overhead cost, but labor cost comes separately. Okay, so these are all the cost elements of cost with the making hydraulic cylinder. It's given. So overall, so this is how the table goes: the design cost, drafting cost, material, labor, tooling, R&D, inspection, overhead cost. So total estimated cost per unit, sum of all the costs would be 73,900 rupees. Without adding any profit, the company would be adding around 20% of profit margin. Then they can able to fix the selling price for unit. One particular unit is 88,680 rupees per. Like that, they can able to fix. Just assumption, some values are given. Okay, I hope you guys understood clearly about what are the elements of cost estimation with that basic introduction also. So final topic for cost estimation. So I don't want to spend lots of time on this because it should be you guys will are much familiar because you saw the importance of cost estimation, methods of cost estimation, types, functions of cost estimation, data requirement for cost estimation, and elements of cost estimation like that. So this is almost like covering all the topics, just the procedure. So first, what we need to understand the requirement carefully. We have to review the cost estimation request and its details. We need to analyze the complete product. Analyze the complete product in the sense what identify the specification, what is the function, what is the necessary of the material. Then we need to go for preparing the list of components and materials like a bill of material we need to prepare. Then once we decided the bill of material, we will be going for make or buy decision whether the product can be made in-house or we need to procure it from outside. Then estimate the material cost. Material cost would same like weight of the material and cost of the material in terms of kilogram. With that, we can able to calculate the material cost. Then determine purchase parts cost, estimate expense for externally outsourced. For example, if you are decided to buy it from outside, in the sense, what is the estimation? It's not like getting the same exact value. Estimated means forecasting or futuristic price we show. So that is also important. Plan the manufacturing process. What are the sequence of operation? What machines are we going to use? What stages it will go, we should know. Then total time required for machining, we need to calculate. That is what is estimating machining time. Then determine the direct labor cost and also need to have an indirect labor cost separately. That will comes under overhead charges. To determine the labor cost will be how much time they are spending and their wages. Then need to calculate the prime cost. So what is meant by prime cost? It's add up of material cost, direct labor cost, direct expenses. So directly how it all affecting on your product, then it will comes under direct. It may be direct means material cost directly, or labor who is really on working on that component is the direct labor cost. Direct expenses something on the particular machine. So all comes under uh, direct expenses, that all put together, like all the summation of that, we will be calling like a prime cost. Along with the prime cost, we'll be adding like overhead charges, administrative charges, or like a profit. Then only we can able to fix the sales price. So that we'll discuss later in our costing or cost accounting. But understand prime cost is direct labor cost plus direct material cost plus direct expenses. Then estimate factory overhead, as I said, the electricity charges, supervisor charges, maintenance charges, depreciation also needed to be considered when we are doing the cost estimation. What is depreciation? After some time, the machine or raw materials will have its own life, right? So you cannot have the same value when you purchased, and after 1 year, after 2 years, it won't be having the same value. It will go depreciation, right? So that value you need to consider. Then administrative expenses, salaries, general management cost and all. Then include selling and distribution cost, like when you are going to post it or supply it to your customers, then how you are going to packaging, how you are going to deliver, means transportation, what's your marketing strategy. For that you need to spend some money, right? So that cost also you need to consider. Then total cost, how to calculate total cost, sum of all direct and indirect expenses. What is direct expenses? Prime cost would be direct expenses. You know what is prime cost, previously we saw. Then including factory overhead, administrative expenses, then selling and distribution cost or expense will tell us total cost. So that total cost, along with that, we need to add our profit margin. So with that profit, we can able to fix the selling price. Then estimated delivery time, coordinate with the production and sales team to finalize the timelines. So this is what the overall procedure we should follow for cost estimation. Okay. So with this topic, I am going to close cost estimation content. In our next lecture, we will be discussing about costing and cost accounting. So to give just overall view about what we have discussed so far from unit number 2, costing and cost estimation, is what is meant by cost estimation we discussed, and the importance of cost estimation. With some example, we have detailedly discussed about that cost estimation. Then what are all the objectives of cost estimation, then functions of cost estimation. Along with the example also, we have discussed about the functions of cost estimation, then types of cost estimation and method of cost estimation. Under the method, three methods are there. For each method, we give an example and briefly explain, and data required for cost estimation with the example we have discussed. Then today in this lecture, we discuss about the elements of cost estimation, and with the examples also we discussed about the cost estimation. Finally, what are the procedure to be followed for cost estimation also we have discussed. Okay. So with this, I'm winding up this lecture. Thank you.